What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski and I am back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down how to beat the Coliseum Urouge. Now, this guy here is the hardest of all of the brand new Coliseum units that will be heading to One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. He's definitely the most difficult. He's only available within the Chaos difficulty, meaning that you can only achieve and actually get him to drop and actually fight him on the hardest difficulty. And he is very, very difficult compared to Rebecca and Lucky Root of the same batch. But anyways, guys, we're going to get straight into the video. I hope you guys do go on to enjoy it. And if you guys do go on to enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below, as it's always greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So first of all, let's go ahead and break down this brand new unit being Mad Monk Urouge, Captain of the Fallen Monk Pirates. Now this guy here is a 5-star unit that does drop from a 4-star unit, and he does evolve into the 5-star unit, and he is a strength fighter striker character, and at max level, at level 99, he has 2,824 health, 1,324 attack, and 203 recovery. So his stats are actually really nice. He's got close to 3k health, which is really good. His attack power is 1324, which is actually really strong, and you know, his recovery at 203, yeah, it's pretty standard. He has 40 cost, and he does have 3 socket spots as well, and you can also use this guy to socket out your Psy Urouge as well, if you guys do choose to do so as well. Now this guy's captain effect will boost the attack of all characters by 2.5 times if HP is below 30% at the start of the turn. So overall, I mean, if you didn't have to be under 30%, it would be kind of like amazing, but you know, being under 30%, it is a very harsh condition for only a 2.5 times boost. In my personal opinion, he's not that great of a captain. He isn't that bad, but probably not the one that you'd want to use. There are a whole bunch of different captains that just do a better job than what this guy does. Also, his special, which starts at 19 turns and maxes at 7 turns, will boost his own attack by a variable for 1 turn. So that variable factor, it depends on how much HP they have. And if you have under 20% HP, which is the highest attack boost you can get, he boosts his own attack by 2 times if you're under 20%. And then the higher your HP, the less of an attack boost that Urouge himself will get. But, you know, most of the time you want to be under 20% when you activate this special, as he does get a 2 times boost for himself. It would be nice if he gave himself a matching orb as well. That would be really, really nice, but unfortunately he doesn't, which does make him a little worse. In my personal opinion, I don't think he's worth maxing out. In my opinion, I'd probably, you know, maybe get a copy or 2 or whatever. And if you guys want to try and max him out, you can. But, you know, the Psy one is probably better. He's just got a better special. He has a more usable captain ability. And just overall, he's just a better unit. But anyways, that is the breakdown of the Mad Monk Urouge. Now let's go ahead and break down the stages for this Colosseum dungeon. Now, surprisingly enough, in my personal opinion, would think that Stage 4 is actually the more difficult stage compared to the final stage against Urouge himself. So here we have Perona, who is the Stage 4, you know, boss, miniature boss, who has 1.2 million health approximately and an attack power of 3,004, and she'll attack you every single turn. And she has a preemptive attack that does a plethora of different things. First of all, it despairs your captains for 3 turns. It lowers your recovery for 3 turns, swaps all crew slots to negative, and applies a defensive shield that lowers strength characters' damage for 4 turns. So, you just get all of these different effects as soon as you enter the dungeon, so it's going to be very, very difficult to take her down, especially because she does have over 1 million health, which is crazy. And, you know, a little bit of a thing that they are doing with Colosseums is that, you know, hypothetically, if the final boss is strength, and you're going to bring a lot of quick units to fight that strength character, the stage before the boss, they'll put a unit there that is good against the, you know, the good units that are against the final boss. So, in this situation, you know, Urouge being a strength unit, you'd think you'd be bringing a lot of quick units to take him down. They'll put a dex unit to try and stop you in your tracks before reaching the final stage. And they've done a really good job here with Perona. Perona is very, very difficult to take down. So the best situation to have is to have level 3 anti-despair or anti-silence or whatever. That will just enable you to just do so much more damage output from the get-go without having to stall out, waiting for that despair to expire, which is really, really annoying. Also lowers your recovery for 3 turns. It either lowers your recovery or lowers chances of food orbs, either one of the two, which is really bad, meaning you're not going to be getting much recovery for the first 3 turns while you're there. Also swaps your crew slots to negative, so that first turn you're not going to be doing much damage, and also, if you do bring strength characters, they're not going to be doing as much damage at all for 4 turns anyways. And also, if you make her fall under 20% HP, she'll activate all of the same preemptives again while she's under 20% HP. So, you know, you really want to make sure that you do not get her under 20% HP, and you want to try and take her down reasonably quick, because, you know, she does attack every single turn for 3,000 damage, and Urouge himself is quite tough as well, so you want to make sure you have a lot of HP upon entering the last stage. And now we move on to stage 5, which is the final boss room of the dungeon. And here we have Colosseum Urouge. Now, he has approximately 1.75 million HP, and his attack power is 9,120, and he will attack you every 2 turns. Now, he doesn't have any preemptive attacks, and he doesn't do anything special unless if his HP is lowered. So, as you can see on screen, when his HP is below 66%, he'll boost his own attack by 1.25, and then once it gets below 50%, he'll boost his attack by 1.75, and then if he falls below 33%, he will take no damage for 3 turns. And that'll pretty much, you know, see the end of most people's runs right there if you do get him under 33% health. So you definitely want to try and burst him down that last 33%. And if you do get him under 20%, he will then boost his own attack by 2 times. So again, you know, it's one of these things, you got to make sure you don't get him under 33%. A lot of these Colosseum dungeons, what they like to do now is instead of making a really negative effect happen on, you know, when they fall below 20%, they're actually buffing it now, so that if they fall below 33%, they're going to activate something really, really bad. So that's something just to note for most Colosseums, is what they're going to do is if their HP falls below 33%, a lot of them will activate a lot of negative effects. So you do have to keep that in mind. But overall, he doesn't actually do anything that bad. He does attack every 2 turns, so it gives you 2 turns upon entering to try and kill him. And there's a lot of different things and teams you can bring and multipliers that you could use in order to take down 1.75 million HP in the first 2 turns. Now let's go ahead and look at the notable drops that you can get from the Chaos difficulty of Colosseum Urouge. As you can see, as the same as all of the other Colosseums, you can get every single type of cotton candy, HP up, attack up, recovery up, and all types up, as well as getting some forbidden tomes, which everyone loves to get forbidden tomes to socket out their units. Also, you can drop skill books of the Colosseum Urouge. Now, as I mentioned before, his skill goes from 19 turns down to 7 turns, so you need 12 skill ups there. And you can also drop cola and belly bags. You know, cola is pretty nice, considering that we're probably going to be getting some more ships in One Piece Treasure Cruise Global reasonably soon. And also belly bags there. No one really wants belly bags, but they do drop from the dungeon, so that is something to note as well. So from here on out, guys, most of the Colosseum units are going to be very, very difficult, and I don't think I'll be able to construct a free-to-play team as well for you guys, you know, prior to actually playing the dungeon itself. So there's no real need for me to make free-to-play teams anymore for Colosseum, you know, guides or anything like that. So this is probably going to be one of the last free-to-play teams I'm going to show you guys. But this free-to-play team does work. I have seen it, and it does work. Well, it is kind of a theory-based thing, but I'm sure it does work. Here is the team. It uses an Urouge captain for your captain and a friend Marco 6-star captain. Now, one thing I do have to note is if you're going to use this team, you definitely have to have max skills and levels for these units. Obviously, Lucci, the blue Lucci on the team, doesn't have skill books out at the moment, but you definitely want to have max levels for all these guys. You know, max specials would be good too. Ganfor isn't really as needed for max specials, but he's just kind of there because he has one of the highest attacks for a free-to-play blue unit. Also, Gonopan Usopp is super, super important for this team. And also, Brook is important as well. He gives you a little bit of extra recovery in case if you fall under 70% HP and you need to get Marco's captain effect ready to go to do more damage, you can use him as well. And also, Brook has a really cool secondary effect where he reduces defense for 50% for like 1 or 2 turns, which is actually really cool as well. So now I'm going to explain how this team actually works against this Colosseum dungeon. So you want to be using Gonopan Usopp on stage 4 against Perona, and then you're wanting to try and just, you know, stall out all of those turns of despair. And if you have sockets that are anti-despair, it does help a lot and is highly recommended, as it reduces the amount of time that you're going to be doing less damage. And then once all of those turns, you know, just, you know, wait out, you can go ahead and be doing a lot of damage to Perona. Now, obviously, you got blue units, not going to be doing a lot of damage to Perona, but you will be chipping away at her HP. Now, while in the threshold of 6-star Marco's captain effect, and you have Urouge, meaning that Perona will only be doing around 600 damage to you, and after the first 3 turns, you can start finding more recovery orbs and healing back your HP, and you can stall out Perona a lot. Now, obviously, this free-to-play team isn't really recommended for speedrunners. It doesn't work that well, but it can complete it. So all you guys that might be struggling against this Colosseum, you can use this team as well, and you'll just be chipping away at Perona's HP, and you want to try and burst it down that last 20% if you can, maybe getting some matching orbs and stuff like that. But then you'll reach the final room against Urouge. Now, When you use Lucci's special against a rogue, you'll get 3 matching orbs guaranteed for your blue units, being Gunfor, Brook, and Urouge. Now, if your Lucci or a Marco have a matching orb, you can go ahead and kill him in 1 turn using Urouge and 6-star Marco special. But if you don't, then you'll have to do 1 turn of attacks. Maybe you'll be doing, you know, around about 200 to 300,000. Then you can use all your specials with Lucci, Urouge, then Marco, and you can kill him out in 1 turn, which is really, really cool with this team. So now let's go ahead and have a look at the other notable leads you can potentially bring against the Coliseum Urouge. Now you've got Log Luffy there and Rayleigh. Those guys are just amazing. Just any Rainbow Captain is highly recommended against Colosseums, as you get so much variety with damage output. You can hit, you know, so many different attributes for high amounts of damage, and they are probably the best teams against Colosseums. You know, just they work so well. Obviously, you got Mihawk there. Now, the reason why I didn't make a free-to-play Mihawk team on the video today is because a lot of the units that you want to bring in this dungeon are not free to play. You got guys like Inazuma, you got Thatch as well, Doma if you need it. There's a whole bunch of different quick slashes. Definitely Inazuma is one of the better ones because he gives you really good damage reduction, and he's also a quick slasher, so he does more damage against a rogue as well. And you know, Mihawk teams just work really, really, really well with the Coffin Bow. It gives you so much HP, and obviously you got Gear 3 there as well. As you know, any team you can make with Log Luffy, you can just substitute Log Luffy with Gear 3, and you'll get a similar sort of team. You know, there's just a whole bunch of different Rainbow teams you can bring. You know, you got 6-star Crocodile, you've got obviously Strongwood Ace potentially once we get Zephyr. You know, that's going to be crazy, crazy good. You know, Strongwood Ace actually should be able to beat this reasonably easily as well. But yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude this guide video for today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.